Language is more than a tool. It is the soul of a people, a vessel of memory, identity, and pride. But what happens when that soul is seen as tainted, diluted by conquest, by politics, by other tongues? In the early 20th century, as nationalism stirred across South Asia, two extraordinary thinkers, separated by sea but united by vision, launched revolutions not with weapons but with words. Their mission, to purify Sinhala and Tamil and to reclaim a native identity buried beneath centuries of conquest, colonization, and Sanskritization. This is the story of Kumaratunga Munidasa of Sri Lanka and Maraimalai Adigal of Tamil Nadu, two men who redefined language and with it the cultural DNA of their people. The British Empire imposed more than just power. It reshaped education, culture, and language. In both Ceylon and the Madras Presidency, English was the language of the elite, and Sanskrit held sacred and scholarly prestige. But for some, this fusion had gone too far. Sinhala and Tamil, languages with deep ancient roots, had become saturated with Sanskrit words and grammatical patterns. Their authentic identity, many felt, was fading. It was in this climate that two men emerged, each determined to restore linguistic clarity and cultural sovereignty. Born in 1887, Kumaratunga Munidasa was a literary force, scholar, teacher, poet, and reformer. He authored over 100 works, including grammar texts, essays, poetry, literary criticism, and beloved children's books like Heen Saraya, Magul Kaima, and Hath Pana. Importantly, he was not anti-Sanskrit. In fact, he was a master of both Sanskrit and Pali, even writing textbooks to teach them. But he argued that their dominance had buried something older, the indigenous Hela identity of Sinhala. For Kumaratunga, Hela wasn't just a synonym for Sinhala. It represented a uniquely Sri Lankan civilization, rooted in the island's own heritage and overshadowed by centuries of foreign influence. To revive this identity, he founded the Hela Havula, a literary and cultural movement dedicated to restoring a pure Sinhala vocabulary and syntax rooted in Hela heritage. But Kumaratunga didn't just preach these ideals, he embodied them. In the later part of his life, he changed his own name from the Sanskritized Kumaratunga Munidasa to the pure Hela form, Kumaratunga Munidas. His followers followed suit. Members of the Hela Havula reformed their personal names as an act of linguistic and cultural revival. Aryasena Ashuboda to Arisan Ahubudu, Amarasiri Gunawardana to Amarasiri Gunawardu, Abraham Gamheva to Abiram Gamheva, Saviel Alvis to Alav Isi Sabihela, Don David Mahoti to Donu Davidu Mahoti. They even changed how initials were written, rejecting the colonial WJM Lokubandara format in favor of Sinhala-style phonetics like Wijamu Lokubandara. Through grammar books, poems, children's stories, and even personal identity, Kumaratunga's Hela movement wasn't just about words. It was about reclaiming the soul of a people. Across the strait in Tamil Nadu, Maraimalai Adigal, born in 1876, was fighting a parallel battle. A Saiva Siddhanta scholar and tireless writer, he authored over 100 works, spanning philosophy, literary criticism, grammar, and fiction, all in service of Thanittamil, or pure Tamil. His spiritual foundation in Saiva Siddhanta gave his linguistic movement a sacred dimension. To Adigal, Tamil wasn't just a language. It was a divine vessel, distinct from Sanskrit and inherently sacred in its own right. But he wasn't the first to dream of such a revival. Decades earlier, a bold scholar named Surya Narayana Sastri had laid the ideological groundwork. Driven by deep love for Tamil, he was among the first to demand that Tamil be recognized as a classical language. In a symbolic act of linguistic pride, he even changed his Sanskritic name to a Tamilized form, becoming Paritamar Kalaingar. His writings boldly challenged the linguistic dominance of Sanskrit and helped inspire the next generation of Tamil purists, including Maraimalai Adigal. Maraimalai Adigal took that vision and turned it into a movement. He viewed Sanskrit as an elite imposition that had long overshadowed Tamil, a distortion of what he saw as the purity of an ancient Dravidian tongue. In 1916, he famously renamed his journal from the Sanskrit Gnana Sagar to the Tamil Kadal, a symbolic break that launched the Thanittamil Iyakkam, or Pure Tamil movement. Even his own name was transformed. He changed it from Vedachalam, a Sanskritic name, to Maraimalai Adigal, embracing a Tamil identity in both form and spirit. This personal act of purification set the tone for thousands of followers. His influence extended far beyond literature. The movement touched naming practices, rituals, and everyday language. Adigal's followers began using Tamil in public speeches, Tamil in worship, Tamil in poetry, all in defiance of the Sanskrit-dominated status quo. And though Adigal himself stayed away from active politics, his ideas would go on to inspire the Dravidian political awakening. His linguistic purism laid the cultural foundations for a new Tamil consciousness, one that would reshape policy, identity, and power in the decades to come. In Sri Lanka, the seeds planted by Kumaratunga Munidasa continue to grow. His movement, Hela Havula, still echoes through schools, literature, and media. His disciples, Arisen Ahubudu, Rapiel Tenakan, and Ilian da Silva, became torchbearers of his vision, expanding it across education, poetry, and even science. Ilian da Silva, an engineer-turned-neologist, proved that Sinhala could thrive in the modern age, coining hundreds of scientific and technical terms using native Hela roots. Kumaratunga's vision also shaped the soul of Sinhala music. Sunil Santa, a pioneering composer, singer, and lyricist, often hailed as the father of modern Sinhala music, was deeply influenced by Hela ideals. He crafted a distinctly local musical style rooted in native rhythms, melodies, and vocabulary, a sound that resonated with the cultural pride of a nation. The cultural pride Kumaratunga ignited also found its expression in the political arena. This movement contributed to Sinhala eventually becoming the official language of Sri Lanka, with Tamil also being recognized later as an official language. Across the sea, Maraimalai Adigal's legacy fused with the Dravidian political awakening in Tamil Nadu. His ideals, once seen as cultural, became structural, influencing language policy, education, and state identity. Tamil was declared the official language of Tamil Nadu. Sanskrit words were purged from schoolbooks. Tamil script took center stage in public signage and state rituals. But with this legacy comes a deeper question. Can any language stay pure? Where do we draw the line between heritage and hybridization? Is purification a renaissance or a restriction? Both Kumaratunga and Adigal sparked a cultural revolution, but their revolutions continue to evolve. Their methods were different, but their core beliefs aligned. What they opposed, Sanskrit dominance. What they sought, linguistic purification. What they believed, language is identity. What they used, writing and public engagement. What they left behind, movements that reshaped culture. Their movements aimed to reclaim a linguistic identity that had been obscured by colonial rule and centuries of Sanskritization. Their movements were not just about language, they were about who their people were allowed to be. Kumaratunga Munidasa and Maraimalai Adigal spoke different tongues, but they shared a single mission: to give their people back their voice. Their revolutions began not in parliaments or on battlefields. They were written into grammar books, essays, journals, and songs. And today, their echoes live on, in the words we choose, the pride we carry, and the languages we speak. What do you think? Can a language be purified, or should it evolve naturally? Let me know in the comments. And if this story stirred something in you, give it a like and subscribe for more cultural deep dives. This is Hela Nomad. Thank you for watching. Ayubowan. Vanakkam.